What a disappointing outcome, but you're not altogether surprised, are you?
I'm not surprised by it, Chris. I'm just so disappointed and frustrated with the whole system. You know, people think the Greens are for environmental reasons and all the rest of it. They are so destructive, so un-Australian. They don't, you know, anything they talk about is not based on common sense, what's best for the majority of Australians. What I put up today was not only for women but also for men. For anything that should be dealt with should be based on biological sex. All these men can go out there, throw on a dress, grow your hair long, go and have your dick cut off, go and, have your, false eyebrows, put on your lipstick and all the rest of it. It will never, ever make you a woman. No hormone treatment, nothing will ever change. You are not a female. So all the females out there, all the women that have fought for the rights, remember the women never had the vote, women couldn't work after they were married. They want a transgender who are male, want to be female.
Infinitesimal.
Go and form your own club. Go and form your own footy team. Go and do all that. But no, you have to then impinge on women's rights. That means that it's not only women, it's also these young girls that are coming through in educational systems where the boys can actually then go and share a toilet with them in the change rooms. You know, these girls shouldn't have to put up with that. And I'm just so angry about this sheer stupidity. And Chris, you know what the Greens got up and said to me? That
What?
I'm actually, a bigot, that I'm bigoted and full of hatred towards the transgender. That is not the case whatsoever.
Well, they are bigoted against
I'm fighting
women.
for women's rights.
Well, what about Labor flying the flag consistently and keep telling us, oh, they're the flag bearers for women in the modern workforce? How can they possibly be that when they allow women to be exposed in those vulnerable ways?
It is a load of garbage because they stand up there and they fight for domestic violence rights for women and the women's pay rights and all the rest of it for women. But on this case, they're not interested in women's rights, in protecting the safety and the sanctity of these certain venues or where women need to go for safety. It doesn't make sense to me whatsoever. And we have so much mental illness out there in our society now. So people think because they're looking for someone to take notice of them, and yes, some may have been born that want to be a female. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. But you can't change what you've been born as.
Correct.
You can't have a child. You don't have a vagina. You can't give birth. You can't breastfeed. Christ's sake, wake up to it. And these other people are encouraging them and think that they have a right. Yes, you have rights. But, you know what, Chris? I want to be Prime Minister of this country. Guess what? I can't. I never can be. I can put on the suit and I'll go into Parliament. Do you think they're going to take any notice of me? No way in the bloody wide world, because there's a process you have to go through. And the same with being a female. And Chris, the last thing that we've, is happening in our classrooms, they're putting in kitty litter trays because kids now believe they are cats.
Yeah, just appalling.